All right, begin your reflective statement about this competency standard with a paragraph describing how your teaching practices meet the standard. Pick a learning experience. So the learning experiences are our lesson plans, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Pick a learning experience. How does this experience reflect your philosophy of how to support young children's creative development? So can somebody give me an example of a creative lesson plan? Wait. Let's make that somebody. Either Leanne or Nikki, because you two are the ones have requested this one.
I did painting the raindrops. Remember for the creative lesson plan we talked about?
I do. It was it with straight up paint that they were?
Yes.
And that was, they made blue
the
and
raindrops. Yes.
blue and white on the paper with their hand, or was it a tool?
No, their hand.
Okay, let's start with the raindrop activity then. It was essentially a sensory painting activity for children. All right, so let's just start with the general, how do we support creative? So who can tell me, well, okay, let's just plot it out. I'm just gonna list it out, practices or creative, and then I'll make a sentence out of it later. So let's start listing. What do we have for our teaching practices for creative? Any ideas? I'm going to put sensory, play. What else?
Gross motor. Hers was head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Okay, I'm going to put gross and fine motor.
Okay.
Music and movement.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. Anything else? So we've got music, we've got
literacy.
Literacy.
I remember, let me see what.
So maybe through, well, that could be through music and movement, the literacy, because the songs we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what I did.
Or maybe I'll put oral language.
Oh, yeah.
Development. Just because it sounds fancier. Music and movement. What about dramatic? We had a thing on dramatic, right?
Yeah, dramatic play. Yeah, because I did dramatic play.
Okay. So do you all think that that's sufficient? Is there anything else we need to put for a teaching practice there?
No, that sounds good to me.
So I'm going to go above this. This is kind of how I used to write when I was in graduate school, because you have all these thoughts. You just, read a book, you just attended all these sessions, and you've got all these ideas, and you're like, okay, what do I pull from? What do I do first? So I usually made myself a little list like this. I find this very helpful. So now I'm going to use that list and write the first part about describing my teaching practices. Okay. I use the following practices to meet the creative development standard. STANDARD. Did I even spell that right? Well, okay, I guess I did.
Yeah.
All right. Sensory play. I don't even know. I think I need a colon there. Sensory play. Gross. I'm going to put motor skills and then I'll expand on it. Music and movement. And dramatic play. I believe children need to use their, so now I'm going to put in the gross and fine motor, large and small muscles, to experience their environment. Or I could put world or something like that, right? Okay, so that gets rid of that one. That one's done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now something for sensory. Children need to mush paint and clay. They need to feel warm and cold, dry and wet to learn what is possible for creating. Okay, that gets rid of sensory play. I sing songs and we dance together and move our bodies to music in different ways. Which one does that get rid of, y'all?
Music.
The movement.
I didn't get the oral language on there yet.
Read.
Okay. And then the oral language would be like singing along, right?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going to tie it in.
Okay.
The songs.
How about reading?
You could do reading too. That would.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do whatever you want because this is yours, right? So if you have the kids do a lot of creativity based on books. So 1 minute, let me first do the song and then I'll do a sentence for books. All right, the songs I choose use many rhyming words and silly ideas to make the children laugh. I also choose books that have characters solving problems in creative ways. Will that work, Sylvia? Or did you have another idea?
Yeah, no, yes.
Okay. So that should get that done. And then dramatic. In my, do you all call it dramatic play, house area, home area?
Dramatic play.
Dramatic play.
Yeah, I call it dramatic play.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
In my dramatic play area, I have kitchen materials for the children to practice and try out roles they see in their home. Okay, so that gets all of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to get rid of this altogether and I'm going to make a new list because there was some other part to it. We got this part done, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's completely done. So for now, I'm going to put a line through it. All right, now we're going to pick our lesson plan, our creative lesson plan, and specifically say how our lesson plan reflects our philosophy. So I'm going to make that yellow. My creative development lesson plan called, and then this is where you'd put the name of it. And Leanne, it was Raindrops?
Yes.
Anyway, that's where you put the title of your lesson plan, right?
Okay.
My creative development lesson plan called Bippity Boppity Boo. Used, either way, uses sensory and fine motor skills for the children to move colored, move paint across a paper in unique ways. And you know what? This in unique ways is totally not necessary. That was just me trying to be fancy. I could just stop there. All right. I believe that as the children grow, they need experiences using paint. And that's it.
Yes. Okay. That sounds
That
sounds like something I would do.
You can do more. You don't have to.
No, while we're saying it, I was kind of doing it in my own words. So, but that sounds perfect.
So I'm going to go ahead and, so you're going to still have access to this recording. I highly recommend, I know the list thing is not for everybody, but that's kind of how I do things to make sure I put all the pieces I have to in something. Because otherwise I'll forget and leave off something important.
Mm-hmm.
And then my teacher will be like, but you left off this whole other bit. And I'm like, but wasn't my first paragraph great? Okay. Anyway. And you don't even have to do 2 paragraphs.
You can sum it up into one.
You can, this stuff can be stuck in with this other. I separated it out just so I'd make sure the person reading it would see we have this part and we have this part.
Okay.
And I definitely like making a list for myself because it's easier if I can make a list of, okay, these are the things I know should be in here somewhere. How can it's like a puzzle then. It's like, okay, I have these 5 pieces of the puzzle that need to be in here. Oh, sensory is one of them. I could put that there. Scratch off sensory. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And if this way makes no sense to you and you need to do it another way, do it your way. But that's my idea on it. Brilliant. Can everybody see CS3A?
Yes.
All right, I've pulled up my yellow book again. I'm going to make sure I've got all the stuff on here I need to do. 3A. Describe some of the ways you support the development of children's positive self-concepts and growing social emotional skills. Okay, yes, so I did that right. Excellent. It's always affirming. All right, so I'm going to push some of these lines down because those bother me. Those are awfully nice when we print it out for you, but when we don't print it out for you, that doesn't help much.
Yeah, when I type it, I just erase all of it.
All right. So begin. So I'm going to start with the first part. Begin your statement with a paragraph describing your teaching practices related to this standard. And this standard is social emotional development. All right, so I'm actually going to put self and social, just so I make sure I get them both in there, right? Mm-hmm. All right, stuff that I need that I think should be included for self. Like they like themselves. What else? Or if you have one for social, you can shout it out too. Like others.
Others.
Is the mirror count? Like using the mirror?
That would be a lesson, and we can use that for our
The
lesson.
lesson, yeah.
So no parts of themselves, parts of body.
Part of body, okay, yeah.
I'm gonna just stick with self first. One thing at a time. No need to get.
So would that be no emotion, like know your emotion, or is that?
Ooh, I like it. Like themselves. No parts of their body. Know their emotions. Know what they can do.
Yeah.
And for like themselves, I'm gonna put competent, meaning like I can do things. Competent. All things you want for people, right? No parts of body, no emotions, know what they can do. Oh,
Affection.
here, for no emotions, are we gonna get into? No, we're not gonna get into controlling their emotions. We'll get into that in the next chapter.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else? Let me get my textbook and make sure I'm not missing something important here.
Okay.
Physical, cognitive, communication, creative. Hey, y'all, we're getting towards the end of this thing.
You know, yes. I'm on.
Promoting children's sense of self. Yeah, okay. Self-esteem, that's like themselves, right? Oh, but that's a fancier way, right?
Self-esteem.
We use the fancier way because we can. Guiding children in expressing their feelings. So no feeling, no emotions, and express feelings.
How about not emotion?
According to the textbook, at the beginning. Woo, wait.
Oh, the feelings. Okay. Yeah, I got that one.
That should get us for self. I'm now going to turn to social and see what we got there at the beginning of the chapter. Do y'all see where I'm pulling this from? It's the first page of the chapter. And it has stuff in like UT orange, burnt orange. And now I'm on social and they have the burnt orange again. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says understanding social development. I don't really see how that works for my teaching practices so much. Let's see, environment, social interactions. Okay, 1 minute. Like others, positive, social interactions. Supporting children's play, encouraging positive relationships, pro-social behavior. So positive social action, interactions / relationships. / they're calling it pro-social behavior. Okay, so I'm going to start with making this a little neater. All right, I'm going to go up here now and start plugging in what we came up with using those burnt orange bullet points at the beginning of the chapters. Let's see. For the self standard, I focus, or I teach children to like themselves. We sing, well, maybe we don't sing songs about that. We read books about different, about children like us, like the ones in my classroom. Because that's a big deal, right? You're supposed to have books that reflect the kids in your classroom. And that's one of the reasons to build up their self-esteem.
Okay.
Let's see, we read books about children like themselves. So I put this part already. I'm going to scratch it out. I describe the children's features, or I describe the children's, because we talk about the parts of the body. Let's see. Think about it with me now, y'all. Is there anything particular you do in your classroom to make the children feel good about themselves?
Mirrors,
Give them compliments.
within
I
compliments.
always,
Now, when you say you give them a compliment, tell me what an example of that.
like when they first come in, you know how you greet them. Oh, I like your shoes, or I like how mommy combed your hair, or something, what they're wearing. Or even, oh, you look pretty today.
How about that? When they come in every morning, I comment on how a part of them is beautiful. Will that count?
Yes.
Okay, so that scratches off that word. When the children are trying something new, I support them and let them know they can do it. Right? So that would be competent.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm feeling pretty good about that. Now I'm going to move on to the next part, knowing parts of the body. We sing songs about the parts of the body. And so, 1 minute. And our emotions.
Dog's really trying to get in.
Can you still hear her?
Very little, but I
have
still hear
two
her.
doors between me and that dog right now, and she is so upset. She's
So upset. I still hear her very little, but I still can hear her.
She's outside it, and she's like,
Yep.
We sing songs about the parts of the body and our emotions. I label my feelings and the children's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Because that's important, right? You tell the child
How they feel, how I feel.
like, you look really sad right now. Your face is scrunched up and
Yeah.
crying. All right. Know what they can do. I feel like we did something with that already.
Okay.
I feel like this counts for that. So I'm going to stop there. I feel like know what they can do is in there.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to get rid of self. Now I'm going to go to social. What the heck, I'll start a new paragraph. For the social standard, I do activities with multiple, with many, with few. Let's see. A few babies at a time so they can share space with each other and socialize or talk or giggle or whatever it is together. I put out enough toys for each baby to have their own and not need to compete, not need to fight. I have conversations with groups of babies and give them time to respond. Okay, so that's like others, pro-social interactions. Oh, for relationships, I think I should put something about our relationship, because you remember we had that session on forming that, what was it? Secure bond, secure attachment. Did anybody go to that one?
Yeah, I think I remember.
Okay. I thought y'all just hung up on me. I was like, oh my goodness, what happened? Okay. So let me put something about that. I form a secure attachment.
Oh yes, we're talking about how we sometimes they move up.
That's the looping, right? But
yes,
the
okay.
secure attachment is when they have a need that they learn that you're going to respond to the need.
Oh, okay, like the
and
calm.
They trust you. And
yes.
when they trust you, they can then trust the world.
Yes.
I do remember that part.
Okay, super. I form a secure attachment with all of my babies and respond quickly to their needs. Boom. I feel like that's done. Now let me go back up here and see if there's anything else I need to put. I feel like that gets the first part done. And this, I think, is a little longer than the last one just because it's for two things.
Yes.
Describe some of the ways you support the development of children's self-concepts. Guess what? We already did that. Don't you think we already did that?
We put, yes.
And I didn't put the mirror thing in there, but we totally can. Let's see, where would it fit? That'd be in the self.
Mirror.
Maybe up here. During mirror play, we describe, or I describe, it's not we. It's not like I'm two people.
No,
I describe the child I see in the mirror and how wonderful they are. I found an error there. So if you all want, I'm gonna save this as well. I'll send it out to you because I think a lot of people could probably use this.
okay.
I wouldn't, if for your notebook, I wouldn't copy it word for word, but you can use the structure and make it your own.
Okay.
And that'll get your competency statement done for these chapters.